Welcome and welcome back to Laura's Design Studio. We are little windows today, and we are going to use, I have not used this mold yet. This is the medium silicone mold set. I'm going to show you how all of her stuff works as far as the color film. We have the punches that exactly match this now, and we're going to do some different stuff. So, this is the medium mold set. Of course, you get the card which tells you how much each one takes and all that. We are going to mix up 60 milliliters. That should be fine. We're doing kind of a two-step process here today, so we don't need the templates that she always sends you because we're using the punches that I bought. They go exactly with this mold. So, and then never forget that your box is also to cover your product while it is curing, but we're not going to use that because we're going to put it in the G3. We are going to use Little Windows resin also. So this is what we're doing. You see these are nice and thick. Look at that. Nice and thick. Make really nice pendants. They're all rounded, so you don't have those sharp edges or anything. Like I said, we're going to use Little Windows Brilliant Resin. It's a 2-to-1, unlike most resin that you will use, which is normally a 1-to-1. But never fear, no math needed. It's right here on her cups. We're going to do 60 milliliters, so they're to part A, they're to part B. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do 60. I was debating for a second because we're not doing this all at once, but that's okay. If we have some extra, we'll just make a few more things. I'm getting a little bit of a late start today because David had to take me to make me legal at my license. For those of you who may be new or just missed places where I've talked about this, my driver's license, I still have an Oklahoma driver's license because I had like, I don't know, like an 8-year license or something. Well, it finally expired back in October 31st. I did not realize it because I never worried about it. I never realized it until I was at my doctor, and when you check in, they always ask for your ID. And they told me, oh, by the way, your license expires. It was like 2 days. I was like, oh, I don't look at those things. So, oh, crap. And so I told David, I said, I just need to go down a little bit more. I just need to go down and have you take me down so I can get my license renewed. And he looked at me like I had 2 heads or something. And he's like, Mom, you have to make an appointment in Texas. And I said, what? 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 Why do you need to make an appointment? He's like, Mom, in Texas, you have to make an appointment. So I'm like, well, crap. So I go on there figuring, I'll just get an appointment for the next, day, like the next day, maybe a week, okay, whatever. I go on there and, no, like the first appointment that I could get was, it was November, like late November. Well, then that's when David tried to go to New Mexico and the car was, broke down. So I had to cancel that one and reschedule it. Well, I rescheduled it and the first available was today, February 19th. Unless you wanted to go to a completely different city and drive, 3 hours or so. I was like, okay, well, so, I've been driving on a not valid license, an expired license. And so he took me down there today. I came out and he's like, are you legal? I said, yeah, I'm legal again. It was, yeah. I have never been in a place where you had to make an appointment to get a driver's license. And then we get there and you can do like check-in from your phone and all that. So we pulled up, there's people standing outside already. When we got there like 7:45, they open at 8 and there's this line. So David gets out my walker and stand in the line. And everybody's asking, do you have an appointment? Do you have an appointment? Do you have an appointment? And I'm like, yeah, I have an appointment. Well, I guess sometimes you can get lucky. And if you go down there and wait all day, you might get in if somebody doesn't show up for their appointment. So, they come out and they don't let everybody in. No, you don't get to all go in. No. They take the first like 20 people. That's it. So I was like 5th or 6th in line, and she's like, do you have an appointment? I said, yes, and I've already checked in. She goes, okay, you can go in. Like, oh God. This is crazy. And then you got to take 500 forms of ID and proof of residence. And I'm like, they don't make it easy at all. So yes, I am legal. But they mail you the license, which is a new one on me also, because every DMV that I've been to, they print your license right then and there. And I've lived in a bunch of states. I mean, I've lived in Indiana, New Mexico, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Oklahoma, and now Texas. So, I've lived in quite a few states and I've never had to do this. I'm like, oh, Lord. All right, so there's our 2-to-1 mixed up 60 milliliters. And this is what we're going to do first. We're going to fill these part way. And of course, I made the appointment for first thing in the morning so David could take me and still get back for work at a decent time. Dave was like, well, you could probably just drive down there. I said, hell no. I said, what if I'm missing something? Or, and, you know, I can just imagine they're sitting outside waiting for you to drive away with no license, right? So I went in. The gentleman looked at my license and he looked at me and he goes, do you have a car here? And I said, nope, my son's outside waiting on me. No, 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 no. Forget the fact that I was already out, you know, driving to the doctor and everything else. No, no, no. All right, so this first part, I have a bunch of these little charms, and we've got all kinds of Tree of Life ones. I've got all colors. We've got little ones like this. We have some gold that are like Gothic style. We're just gonna pick some. And I need my cutters because we're gonna cut off the loops. But I came out and David's like, so are you legal? And I said, yeah, I'm legal again. Okay. That one doesn't exactly. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And yes, Franz resin is the safest resin on the market. So if I get a little bit, it's not even sticky. You know how regular resin is sticky? This is not sticky. She doesn't use solvents or anything in her resin, so it definitely makes a difference. Let's see. These are little bows. Let's see, what other things do we have? A bunch of Christmas ones in here. I don't want those. Oh, here's a little bee. There's a bee. These are like Gothic. So they look like that. Do we have any bigger ones than that? Oh, here's a rose. Here's one of the hearts. Well, the rest of these seem to be Christmas. Okay. I wonder if this one will fit. Nope, not there. Check out the loop. Here's a palm tree. Let's see a cactus. focus. Then I had one of these boxes had like a ballerina. I bet it's this one. Here we go. Eiffel Tower. And one more. Okay, this one. Okay, that one bouncing all over. Okay, now that one looks good. That one doesn't look too bad. This one needs to be moved a little bit. Did I put that in the wrong way? No, okay, no. Sure. Just bringing them closer to the top because you don't need a lot of room for a back on it. This one. Grab the magic spatula. you just need enough room to put a small dot on it. This resin definitely holds the charms. Because they're not floating, they're staying put right where I dropped them. This one's not flat, so it's kind of tilted, but I'm hoping we can. All right, we're gonna let these sit here. Just gonna move this back real quick. So I'm gonna let them degas, see if we get any bubbles. And in the meantime, I will show you what we're doing next. We are gonna put the lid on the G3 and cure that. But I will show you some stuff that we are going to do for the next layer. So we're going to use a few different things for coloring. We're going to use the silver, the gold, the green, the red, and we're going to do some resin film. Okay, this is the easiest way to color resin, right? So we've got the jewel tones, and then you've got the pale. And I don't need the templates because I bought the punches that exactly match those. So earlier, while I was waiting before we left, I punched out a few of these. So there's a purple, a blue, there's another color somewhere. Because I punched out 3. There it is. Okay. So the only one I don't have punched out is the rectangle. So this is what one of the resin films looks like. And then we need one for the rectangle. I always open up and do it upside down. So if you're a paper crafter, you know this trick. All right. Come on there. Okay. So there is that. Let's punch another one. That one kind of got. Now, if you're having trouble punching this, the easiest thing is to put this in between 2 pieces of paper, or fold a piece of paper, and then it will go. That one came right out. Come on. Release thyself. aren't you punching? It's hanging up on the one side. Okay. I have a piece of paper under here. So I will show you what I mean. I don't know why my film is getting stuck over there on that one side, but it is. Probably has to do more with me than anything, because I can't keep it straight. Okay. This is one of those times where you need to put a piece of paper. So I'll show you how to do that. All you're gonna do, now I have cardstock sitting here, so we'll see if this will work. But just take a piece of paper and fold it. I'm gonna get out a different sheet so I'm not punching nothing. I don't have to try and line. Okay, so take this, just put it in. Now this is going to be thick because I'm using cardstock. So let's see if it'll go through. It punched all the way through. Where did it go? Oh, it's stuck in here. So that's what, if you're having trouble with one of them cutting, then just put it between two pieces of paper and it'll cut right out. If it quits sticking to me, we'll be fine. So that's how you remedy that problem. So then, let me put this away. So that's a simple way to use the colored film, and all they will do is go on top. But I'm going to cure this with all the charms in there first. But I'm going to leave that paper out. We may need it for this. Alright, so this is the die-crochet film. And we've got the texture and the colors. Okay. So now, what you can do is, I'm going to take two pieces, one regular and one that's the textured. Heat gun. all done together. See if there are any bubbles. Oh, I got these going out. Okay, so now we can take the punch and we can punch this out. Same thing, if you're having trouble with the punch going through it all, put a piece of paper. There we go. Okay. Let's do this a little bit more. Another one. There we go. There's that. Now, or you can take two different colors. Actually, there's three colors here. We'll do all three. So this is the film, no textured film in there. There you go. Let's punch out a square while I have this one. Go. There's a square. And what else? Alright, so that's what we will do. We'll do some of each. So then I'm just gonna put these back in. Can I get that circle out of this one? So I have enough here. There we go, circle. So That gives us some options for backings. Okay, so I'm going to put the punches away. I'm going to take all these pieces over here. I'm going to put the lid on this. It's looking good. Looking like everything's in place. We're going to get this cured up, and then we'll be back to do backs on everything. Talk to you soon. We are back. We are back. Okay, let's make up. I'm going to make up another 60. Seriously debating between 60 and 30, but I think to be safe, we need to make 60. Luckily, I have another one. I think we'll get 60 out of this bottle. Yep, we are going to be right at 60. Into that. I'll tell you right now, with her resin, you know how other resins you always get left with some part A or something left? You don't with hers. They are right on the money every time. Okay. Okay. I'm looking for bubbles, and I do not see bubbles. Like I said, her resin is not sticky. That is not sticky. And it wipes off with just a dry paper towel. Like, there's nothing left on my fingers. And I said it's much different than a normal resin. Like I said, if you've been doing resin for any length of time, you know that when you get resin on you, like alcohol, it just doesn't wipe off. Okay, now I'm going to get out some of these little cups because there's a few of these that I want to do in her gold and her silver, and then her red and green. So those will be my cups for that. First thing we're going to do is, here are the pieces that we cut out. And let's see. Square purple. I'm going to lay it right in there. Actually, I'm going to put down some resin first. Of course, now I got to get it out. There we go. just going to put down a small amount of resin. Then I'm going to put this down in there. And then I'm going to fill it. Okay. Now, let's see what other ones we have here. Here's a blue. We're going to put that right down on there. And you see how these punches are made specifically for these molds. That is why I was all in on buying the punches, because how easy is this now? Now, let's see, we have an orange rectangle. Let's put it, we're going to put it on the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Alright, let's do, I am going to do, what do I want to do? Just debating here. Let's do a red. So I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Here's some red. Just give it a little squeeze and it comes right out. I want more. That was probably a little much. Now, because I'm mixing this in the resin, it's going to be that deep red. And I'm going to put it behind this because this is the one with that red stone in it. Okay. I'll leave that over there. Let's do a green. I don't want green. Let's do it behind the cactus. Okay, there's that. Let's do our dicroche. This dicroche film with the not that one. Yeah, with the texture film. That's what I'm trying to get out. Okay, we're gonna lay it into there. Yeah, See, I have a circle over here. Let's do it on there, on that one, on that rose. Get in there. There we go. Okay. See, I have a squared. This one doesn't have the texture. It's just the 2 different colors or 3 different colors of film. I'll put that one here. Okay, let's make it gold. Now, I keep these in the bags because these are super fine, super fine. Got my little spoon here. This one is called Warm Golds. Warm Golds. Look at gold. And it mixes up so easily. I'm going to put this behind the B. And we're going to make a silver. Same thing. This is a very fine powder, which is nice because it mixes up really nice. It's just a little. I personally would like to see those in the bottles like the mirror one is, because these are more messy. But it's okay because they are lilac color. I have gold, I have silver. But look at that silver. That is beautiful. And again, because it's so fine, it mixes up like it's nothing. Alright, silver. Where do we want silver? The bow or the ballerina? What do we have left here? We have this one. We have the ballerina and we have the bow. Let's go bow. That silver is beautiful. Now, ballerina and tree, palm tree. Let's put this one behind the ballerina. There we go. And we've got the tree left. Let's put put this piece in here. Okay. Now we want to go around and make sure that everything is filled up. That one looks like it. Yep. That one's good. This one could probably take another couple of drops. Oh, you know what? Use the green. I have green left. Use the green. Okay. That red one looks pretty full, but okay. The gold one, maybe a couple of drops. The red one I said was good. Green one's good. Silver. Okay. Now the rest, we'll just make sure it was clear. Boop, 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 boop. This one's hard for me to see for some reason. Okay, it's full. That one's full. That one's full. 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 Okay, looks like we're good. So these pieces I would keep them back in my pack and keep them. Now, I've got a little bit of resin left with all kinds of colors. So, let's pull out some buttons. I'm gonna make some of these and send them to my friend that I sent the other stuff to, because they're all paper crafters, and they still support me. I still support them.
Was that for me?
Nobody's talking to you.
Fair enough. I'll just be here, quietly contemplating the mysteries of the universe and wondering if smart toasters dream of electric bagels.
Are you kidding me right now? Alexa's lost her damn mind. So yeah, I send stuff to Carrie because she does giveaways every single week. At least once a week, if not twice a week. She's my PIC, partner in crime. And I need a better... These cups are ridiculous. This is why I don't use these except for this. Impossible to get better. Did I just say that? Yeah, I did, but sorry. So yeah, I sent her a bunch of stuff that she could do, add to her giveaways. Because I put out videos every day, I have an abundance of items. And so I send her stuff that I know that paper crafters can use. When I went back into resin, I sent her a bunch of paper crafting stuff that I knew I wasn't going to use. And I had 2 of the old Spellbinders Grand Caliber. If you're a paper crafter, you'll know what that is. It's a really old die cutting machine. But I had 2 of them. So I sent her one of those because all she had was a mini cutting machine, a little die cutter. And she got one of my Spellbinders with all the plates and stuff. I had every single plate. That's going to be enough out of there that I can... Okay, red. We have red, and it's going to have some silver in it because I did not wipe this off. So yeah, one of the paper crafters, it was actually Gwen. Gwen the Trash Witch. She saw the buttons and commented about buttons, and I was like, oh yeah, I just got these, so I'll have to send Carrie some for her. That's why I sent her the big paper clips. Just because I knew that they would like those. Oh my Lord. I have to add some clear into this one. I have the green left over here. I have to send my friend Bex some too. I had never known of Bex until I started doing paper crafting, and she is, she's one of my friends. We're both like gothic people. You'll see her comments on my stuff, and I'll have to send her some buttons. She does a lot of junk journals and stuff like that. And then we have a resin person who's also Bex. The resin one spells hers just B-E-X. My paper crafter friend spells hers with 2 X's. This one's going to be partially clear, partially red. And that's what this one, the green one down here, is going to be also. I'll get just enough clear to fill it up. Yep, we are done. Okay, I will clean up. See if I can get that red distributed a little bit. I'm going to clean up my mess. I'm going to put the lid back on. We're going to set it. And I'll see you when it's time to demold all of these and make them into something good. Talk to you soon. And we're back. Let's see how these turned out. Okay. Let's do our buttons first. Look at that. And we have the little bitty ones. Silver. Another silver. We've got that red. Another red. And 2 more silvers. Oh, this one's got a bunch of bubbles in it. That one's not good. The rest were good. Okay. Remove the buttons. And off to the side over here. That one. Alright, let's see how these turned out. Okay. That is the one with purple in the back. We did that purple film. Here's the one with the green chrome, or the green mirror. Oh, I don't like that one. Something happened with the cactus in there. I don't know what happened with the cactus in there. It's like it's... I don't know what happened with that one? Ooh, look at this one. Here's the bow. Look how that one turned out. That's with the decrush film. Here's one with silver. Is this a bow? Yeah. This one is the rose with the pink behind it. This is the one with the red. And then it had a red stone in there, and I don't like it because not only did it go off center, but something like the cactus, something is like in front of that. And I don't know what that was. Here is the gold with the bee. Here is that orange film with the Eiffel Tower. There's that one. This one is the ballerina. There's a tree. This one is another tree, and it has the decrush film, and that there's texture film in that one. And then this one was decrush film with the palm tree. Okay, so the two that didn't turn out, whereas the cactus and that gothic with that stone in there. What in the world? I don't know what got in those two, but the rest of them turned out really nice. So what you would do now, you can do a couple of things. I just got some new bales, but I need a bigger size. These are the biggest out of the ones that I just got. And I don't know, off of there, I don't know that this will go wide enough for let's see, it might. All right, might as well try it, right? Got to find the hole. Find the hole. There's the hole. There's the hole. Definitely have the back side. Okay. definitely need bigger bales because this is how this one would work. This is about the only one that would work on these because they're quite thick. So there's that one. The other thing that you can do, let's find one to do it with. If you've ever bought like a bulk thing of bales, you get these little weird ones that you don't know what to use them for or how you're gonna use them, or at least I don't, because they have like that's like you have to get something in between that, you know? So I did find a solution for those type, and it's with a screw. Now, the bad thing about stuff like this is you have clear on top. So you want to get this in the part with the silver in the back, okay? So that's gonna have to be right about there to make that. And you want it in the silver, not in the clear. So I think we're looking at let's see. And this is just a cheap $10 drill off Amazon. Nothing special. Now, so now what you need to do is take one of these screws screw this in. Before you get to the bottom of it, you want to put some glue. That way it doesn't pull out. Just a little bit of glue. Finish putting that in. Okay. So now you've got this. Now you can take one of these weird bales, right? And this is how they go on, like that. So I put this through here. This is why I do stuff off camera. Telling you guys, it's always a struggle. There we go. And you get under there and you bring that piece back up. Okay. And now it's not going anywhere. And that is what it looks like if I can get it to land. So now you have you can use up these little bales that I have a ton of, because it seems like every package of bales that I buy have these in it. That is how I have managed to fix that problem. Now, I don't have gold screws, so I do have gold flatbacks. That's awful little. That one wouldn't be bad. So yeah, I have 2 boxes of those weird bales. Alright, so now we're going to do a flat back. Okay. And this is BSI. And it has an activator spray. So you're going to do that and spray. And now you have that. Okay, so we'll keep going with this. Let's see. That one's done, that one's done. Those 2 I don't like. Those 2 are going to be in the trash. Alright. So now this purple one with the moon and the pink little stone. We can do that with, and you see how smooth this is? There is no need for trimming with her molds. None of these need to be trimmed. And it's because of this rounded corner thing that she does and the way that they sit, how the sides come up like this. And that's why you'd never have to trim her stuff. It's incredible. So I think I like it that direction. So, once again, I'm going to take a screw and I'm going to put it towards the back so that it's, even though this one seems pretty solid, I just don't want that screw showing. And it's going to show. It's going to show. I did not get all the way behind that film. Don't like it, but this will go in a blooper bin. I don't like the fact that you can see that screw. But there's another one of these. This one happens to be open already, so no fighting with it. So now it looks like that. I don't like the screw though. So on these that are more clear with that film in there, you're gonna, this one especially, you're gonna see it no matter what. So this is one I would do a flat back on. And it's pink with gold, so let's find a nice gold one. Nope, that's rose gold. There you are. Come here. I'll do one of these. So that's what that one looks like. So we're going to do the same thing. The other choice is I do have these, which open pretty wide. They're just plain, they're not fancy or anything. But will it open wide enough? You can pour these thinner. You still won't have to trim. No matter what you do, they'll come out like this. Let's see if this one will go big enough. These won't even go big enough, I don't think. No, we're not doing those. Okay. Those are not going to go big enough. We are back to flat backs. Those are not. It's silver. Okay. Try and set it on there. Now you're going to see the backs of these. The only way not to do that is to have pinch bales, but I need to find big ones. Yeah, I need to find big pinch bales. I thought those were big, but they're not big enough. This little ballerina. If I do a screw, it's going to show. It's going to show no matter what, so. I do have another one of these. Let's see. Actually, I have several of these. You in the hole? You must be in the hole. So then you have that. Let's see. I think we'll just go, so it's flat back. So there's that one. I've got two more. This is the one with the, now we could have put, after we put in the die-crush film on any of these, or even this film, we could have backed it in black. But we would have done a third layer. So that's always an option. This one. Silver bowl. Here we go. There's that one. The last one, and this is gold. Now, I had a piece of die-crush film come out of here. That's what these curved scissors are for. Well done. Nice and... But these are nice because then you just cut with the curve. And it's just fine. This one's gold, so we're gonna do So there you go. So, BSI, which is Bob Smith Industries, MaxiCure, and I bought the one with the activation spray. They do have one that does not come with it. So if you want the activation spray, buy the two together. And it's an ounce MaxiCure, and then the activation spray makes it almost immediate. So here we go. We have the silver. So on this one, we used the Little Windows silver. What's the specific name? Sparkling silver. That was that one. We used the film for coloring instead of resin. And this was the purple. The ballerina, we had the pink in there. The tree, we put in some dichroic film. The bee, we had the warm gold, is what this one is called. That color right there is the warm gold. This one with the rose, we did just the pink. I think that was out of the pale sets. Eiffel Tower, we did the orange. This one had texture and dichroic film in it, and we did the palm tree. This one had the dichroic film. It had a couple layers of different colors. And then we did the plain blue on that large tree. So there you go, guys. Just showing what you can do with little windows. So all of this was little windows. We did everything with, except for the charms, okay? Minus the charms, but all of the back colors, and you see how clear her resin is. I mean, look at this. That is crystal clear, no bubbles. You saw exactly what I did. I did not even spray alcohol. I didn't go around and pop up, nothing. I did absolutely nothing. This is nothing but pure resin. And you don't see bubbles. It's crystal clear. So yes, I am a fan of her resin. I'm a fan of her colors. The dichroic films and everything. I mean, you just can't beat it. If you make jewelry, it is worth the price to me to pay for her resin. Now remember, her resin is more expensive. Now, this is the kit. I usually buy one of these. Now, you've seen me make these. I don't use her resin for this. Why? Because this has got color in it, so it doesn't matter. Clarity doesn't matter as much, right? So when you have something that's crystal clear, that you're using those films and you're getting the color from that, you need your resin to be super clear. So like this one, you know, that was with, you saw me do that with the deep white instead of the sinker. And I showed you the comparison. I like the deep white better because, and this is Marabou, you get results like this as opposed to, nope, that's, hold on, as opposed to this. This was the sinker, and you see, now this one isn't as bad as some of them. Let's see if I have a better example. They're all in a bucket over here. Okay, here we go. So your sinker white drops straight to the bottom. And I was using the, you know, I used the Marabou alcohol inks from Little Windows. So this was with sinker white. Let's Resin sinker white. I don't like how it falls immediately to the bottom. I like this look right here. So this is made with the deep white from Marabou. Okay. So that's the difference. And, you know, obviously these, I needed clear. I needed to have a resin that I could trust that was going to be crystal clear with no work. And that's exactly what I got. I mean, these are clear. And when you're only using like those films, I mean, how easy was that? No mixing of colors, no nothing. We're just going to put a piece of film in there, which I punched with the punches that matched this mold exactly. So, you know, if I need clear jewelry, I will use Franz resin. And this is what you get with it. You get, you know, your stir sticks, you get the blue cups, and you get the little easy batch cups where you can make up as little as, hold on, I have one over here. You can make up as little as 9 milliliters. So it's marked on here. You can make up as little as 9 millimeters with her resin. So that is why I really like her resin. You saw her resin is not sticky like most resins. And it's because there are no solvents or anything in it. That's why it's a different type of resin. You don't, I don't even know how to explain it. It's not sticky. There's no solvents. It's the safest resin out there. And you see how crystal clear it is. There we go. Don't ask me. So that's my take on it. Hope you like this, and let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.